Welcome dear students to certificate course on groundwater exploration organized by Department of Geology Sri Shivaji Science College Amravati. I Saurabh Paunikar, Assistant Professor Department of Geology Sri Shivaji Science College Amravati will be discussing today's topic on to today's practical on Introduction to Understanding Topography Reading. For understanding topography reading, we must understand latitude and longitude. And for better understanding of latitude and longitude, we should be able to understand shape of Earth. Let's discuss it. Earth's shape is best defined as spheroid or ellipsoid, while shape, size of geographic coordinate systems surface is also defined as spheroid. The radius at equator is larger than at the pole due to long-term effects of Earth's rotation. This irregular shape is called the geoid, a surface which defines zero elevation. This is that equipotential surface which would coincide with the mean ocean surface of the earth. Geoid surface is irregular, unlike reference ellipsoid, which is a mathematical idealized representation of physical earth, but considerably smoother than Earth's physical surface. Being an equipotential surface, geoid by definition is a surface to which the force of gravity is everywhere perpendicular. So, indirectly, what we can say, this green zone over here or green line, it represents your geoid. Okay, and this black line is an ellipsoid, which is an imaginary one. Okay, as we know, earth's surface is not smooth. It have mountains, so at mountains it is elevated. It have oceans, lakes, so that's an depression. Okay, geographic equator. So geographic equator is nothing but an imaginary line cutting the earth into two equal halves. Okay, it is halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole at 0 degrees latitude, and equator divides the planet into a northern and southern hemisphere. Okay, so the northern part of equator will be your northern hemisphere and southern part of equator will be your southern hemisphere. So here you can see equator. Okay, so this part will be northern hemisphere and this part will be your southern hemisphere. The earth is widest at its equator. The distance around the earth at the equator, its circumference is around 40,075 kilometers. The earth's diameter at the equator is about 12,756 kilometer. At the poles, the diameter is about 12,714 kilometers. So you can see this very well difference, okay, at the equator and at the pole, difference in diameter. Earth's diameter is also wider at equator, creating a phenomena called as equatorial bulge. So if this is an equatorial bulge, if this is an earth, so what we are intended to say, if this is a equator, okay, let's draw an equator. Let's say this is a southern hemisphere. Okay, so at the equator we want to say it is bit bulged out. Okay, that is called as equatorial bulge. The Earth's equatorial bulge is about 43 kilometers. Yeah, this difference, it is your 43 kilometers. The equatorial bulge is created by Earth's rotation. As line of latitude increase in size, a point has to travel faster to complete a circle, that is your revolution, in the same amount of time. Okay. Instance explaining equatorial bulge. People standing at sea level near the poles are closer to the center of Earth than people standing at the sea level near the equator. Very easy to understand, right? Sea levels are slightly higher in equatorial regions than near the poles. The Earth's gravitational pull is slightly weaker at the equator due to its equatorial bulge. Now let's discuss about Greenwich Mediterranean. Okay. Now what this Greenwich Mediterranean is? It is located in London. Okay. As we have separated the Earth, there is an imaginary line separating the Earth into equal half, top and bottom, right? We called it as southern hemisphere and northern hemisphere. Now this Greenwich, it divides Earth vertically into two equal halves. Okay, this equator is 0 latitude. Okay, and there is a Greenwich which passes through London. It is nothing but your 0 longitude. Okay, so what happens is, from this 0 longitude, the lines in the right hand side, I'm drawing like this, all these values increases in plus. Okay, this is plus. Okay, this is 0, it will increase 10, 20, 30, 40 till 90. Okay, and in this direction it will again increase from 0, but it will be in minus sign. Okay, so it will be minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, minus till minus 90. Same as that for longitude, same as that for latitude also. So those lines will be your latitude. Okay, the horizontal lines are nothing but your latitude. Okay, so this is a 0, this is a 0 latitude. Okay, so in the northern hemisphere the values will be in plus. Okay, plus 10, plus 20, it will go to till plus 90, and in southern hemisphere it will be in negative, so minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, and so on till minus 90. Okay, okay. Greenwich meridian, it is an imaginary line representing the historic prime meridian of the world, that is 0 degree 0 minutes and 0 seconds longitude, passing through Greenwich, which is located in London and terminating at the north and south poles. This north and south line at Greenwich is used as the reference for all other meridians of longitude, which are numbered east or west of it. So, if we see in topo sheet of India, what we will see, there will be this, I think it's not visible over here. draw it over here. Okay, so these vertical lines are nothing but representation of your longitude, okay, as we have seen earlier, and the horizontal lines will be representation of your latitude, okay. So now if this is 0 0, longitude, that is meridian 0 0, prime meridian passing through Greenwich, London, so the lines over here, okay, will have the plus side sign, and it will be written as east of Greenwich, okay, as it is in the east direction of Greenwich. And the lines over here, it will have negative sign and it will be written as west of Greenwich. As our India is in east of Greenwich, it is written as east of Greenwich something degrees, minutes and seconds, okay. This represent degree, this represent minute, and this represent second. So for 60 seconds it becomes 1 minute, and for 60 minutes it becomes 1 degree, okay. For latitude and longitude we count it in degree, minutes and seconds, okay. So that's why when we look into latitudes or longitudes of India, what we see, the values are usually in plus, or they don't have minus sign in front of them, as both latitude and longitude of India are in plus sides. We can understand it better from the previous diagram. Okay, let's try to understand from this. So our India, we can see it is in this quadrant, it falls under this quadrant. So longitudes running in this quadrant are in plus sign, right, and latitudes running in this quadrant are again in plus sign. So that's why we won't see any minus sign in latitude and longitude of India, but if we go to America we will see it. Okay, we also call it Greenwich Meridian because it runs through Greenwich, England. It serves as the basis for the world standard time zone system. Every place on Earth is measured in terms of its distance east or west from this line. The line itself divides the eastern and western hemisphere of the Earth, just as the equator divides the northern and southern hemisphere. It is believed that the intersection between these two invisible lines, that is your equator and prime meridian, is in the middle of Atlantic Ocean. So we're talking about this this intersection, it is in Atlantic Ocean. Now let's talk about latitude and longitude. Those are nothing but your imaginary lines which are projected on Earth, okay. Every place on Earth has unique position because we can assign them geographic coordinates. A geographic coordinate system defines two-dimensional coordinates based on Earth's surface. It has an angular unit of measure, prime meridian, and datum, which contains the spheroid. We measure these coordinates as lines, latitude and longitude. This latitude and longitudes make up our geographical coordinate system. For example, WGS 1984. Okay. From equator we measure north and south. For example, everything north of the equator has positive latitude values, whereas everything south of the equator has negative latitude values. The Greenwich meridian is a zero line of longitude from which we measure east and west. Okay, so here we can see longitude. Longitude runs from north to south. Okay, from north to south. Okay, so we'll see it will go to here plus 90 and it will go till here minus 90. Okay, so what we need to understand over here is these lines are three-dimensional. We draw it in two-dimensional 2D graph or a map, but these lines are three-dimensional. That is, this same line is going in backside of the earth and then becoming making a loop and coming back. Okay, same for your latitude and same for your longitude. This line, it is running backside from the earth, which is not visible in this two-dimensional diagram, and it is coming back. Okay, so it makes a loop. It is in one latitude and this will be your one longitude. So here we can see this same line actually is running back from here and it will come back. So this same line will have same values. Here graphically we have tried to represent it in different values, but it will have the same value. Even for latitude it will be from plus 90 to minus 90. Okay, so this line is running from this and it will run back and it will come again. Okay, so it is a three-dimensional system. Okay, geodetic datum, because the earth is curved and in GIS we deal with flat map projections, we need to accommodate both the curved and flat views of the world. As we understand, earth is not 2D, it is 3D. So when we plot it in on graph, we have to adjust those 3D structure on 2D. In surveying, we accurately define the properties with geodetic datum. When these measurements are combined, we arrive at a geodetic datum. Datum precisely specify each location on Earth's surface in latitude and longitude. A horizontal datum has a major axis, which is the longest diameter of an ellipsoid. Also, it has a minor axis, which is the shortest diameter of an ellipsoid. Finally, horizontal datum has a radius that represents a position of the surface relative to the center of Earth. Here we can see it is a semi minor axis, it is a semi major axis. What I was trying to tell in previous section about latitude and longitude, we can see it here very clearly. So if this is one latitude, so it is running going back and again coming. Okay, this whole line will have a same value. Even for longitude, so these are longitudes, so this will have the same value as that of this side. It will go, it will come back again from this. Okay. So that's how all over the earth is been divided into latitude and longitude. Now let's talk about variation, or how to read this. So now when you'll be reading this latitude and longitude on a 2D map, so you will have to read it in the opposite direction. As we know, latitudes are horizontal and longitudes are vertical lines. Okay, so for reading latitude, you will have to move in opposite direction of its orientation. That is, for reading latitude you will have to move vertical, and for reading longitude you'll have to move horizontally. For example, let's see over here. I am trying to draw some lines. Okay, so let's say these are your longitudes. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, and let's draw some latitudes. Okay, so again I write 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we can see over here, these are your latitudes which are in horizontal fashion, but for reading its values you have to move in vertical fashion. That is 1, 2, 3. These lines are vertical, which are your longitude, and these are its values. But for reading those values, the variation in those values, you will have to move horizontal. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? This 3D diagram try to represent same. Okay. These are the vertical lines. Okay. For those vertical line, will have to move in horizontal fashion, like this in 2D map. Okay, and for those which are horizontal lines, this will have to move it in vertical fashion to read those variations. Now let's discuss about altitude. Altitude is nothing but height. Altitude, like elevation, is vertical distance above an object and the earth's surface above sea level. Altitude or height is defined in general as distance measurement, usually in the vertical or up direction, between a reference datum and a point or an object. The term altitude is commonly used to mean the height above sea level of location. Formerly, altitude was calculated using mathematical formula of trigonometry. The horizontal distance between 2 points and vertical angle measured between them would yield the elevation of the object. Modern GPS techniques are now used to determine elevation at a point. Minimum 3 satellites are required to triangulate one's precise position on the earth. Adding a fourth one to the mix will give you the height of the location. That's why whenever we are in the field, we should wait for at least 4 satellites to connect to our GPS, so we get perfect location and perfect elevation or altitude. So difference between elevation. For example, a plane was flying over mountain range. The plane's altitude would be vertical distance from the plane to the surface of mountain range, whereas the elevation of the plane would be the height of the plane above mean sea level. So for elevation, it do not considers any mountain or other structures which may be up on the earth. Okay, so even plane is in this location, so elevation will be this. Okay, this total, this height plus this elevation. Okay, but this height for this plane at this point, the this height will be your altitude. Okay, for this point your elevation and altitude are same. Now let's discuss about contour lines. Okay, now if on a map we have to locate some place, we are locating it with the help of your latitude and longitude. Okay, so on a two-dimensional map, now we have to even represent the elevation or the height of the places. Okay, so let's see if this is a if we want to draw a two-dimensional map of this. So all these surfaces at the same elevation, but this surface is at different elevation, right? Or it have a different height. Contour lines. Contour line or contour joins point of equal elevation above mean sea level. A contour map is a map illustrated with contour lines. For example, a topographic map which thus shows valleys and hills and the steepness or gentleness of slopes. The contour interval of contour map is the difference in elevation between successive contour lines. Contour lines are lines drawn on map connecting points of equal elevation, meaning if one physically follows a contour lines, elevation would remain constant. Contour line shows elevation and the shape of the terrain. That's they are usually because they illustrate the shape of the land surface, its topography on the map. Now let's see. So over here this is a two-dimensional map and these lines are nothing but your contour lines. Okay, so you can predict n number of things from these contour lines if you are able to understand their nature. Okay, so as we have discussed or gone through earlier, contour line is nothing but line or line going through points of equal elevation. Okay, so if this is a contour line, so elevation along this contour line will be same. If this is another contour line, elevation along this contour line will be same. Okay, now let's see if there is a hill, so what will happen, there will be a close contours very closely packed and closing in very small areas. Here we can see these are not closing in a small area. Okay, this is a one hillock, so contours are closing in a small area. Okay, we can see they are closing. Okay, so we can say this may be a mountain or elevated region where the elevation is same, so its slope, this is sloping. Okay, this this is at higher elevation and this is at lower elevation. As this is a bit 3D representation of a 2D diagram, we are easily able to understand, but even values of this contour lines will be given on the topoid, and from directly looking into topo sheet, we'll be able to understand it more clearly. So in this we can see very easily that this is a 60 feet contour line, okay, this is a 40 feet and this is a 20 feet. So what it is represented, it is representing a hillock. Over here there will be something 60, 40, 20, right, and this maybe 80, and this will be 100 feet elevation, okay. So this is nothing but representation of this 3D structure on a 2D paper, okay. That's how we represent the elevation on the 2D maps by the help of contour lines. Now it is all about experience and time. Slowly, when we'll see more of the different contour line patterns, we'll be more able to understand how actually 3D structure it is on the earth. So here it is more elevated surface, and here you can see this contour lines are going longer, okay. So if contour lines are close, we can see over here these contour lines are close, that means slope is steeper. If contour lines are distant from each other, that means slope is comparably gentler, okay. So over here it is a steep slope, contour lines are close. Over here it is compared to this, it is a gentle slope, and this contour lines are bit away from each other. So this is a 3D mountain, and it will be represented like this with the help of contour in a 2D map, okay. And these figures are showing value of contour lines, okay. So if this is some value, the same value, that is the elevation along this line, will be same, okay. Thank you.